Good day, everyone, and welcome to Not Right, Not Wrong. I am Brother John, and I'm here with my two comrades. I am here with my brother, Mr. Mark Mills, Dark Mark Mills, aka C1. What's good with you, brother?
Listen. I'm as handsome as I was for the last episode. I got on, my smoking jacket. some different.
Yeah.
I know y'all can't see the whole getup, but just know that it's on. Something light. But I don't smoke though. I don't smoke, but I said let me just throw on the smoking jacket. Something different.
Yeah.
For older people. I said that use handkerchiefs.
Smoking jackets and handkerchiefs.
Some debonair shit right there.
Listen, that sounds like a song. Smoking jacket and handkerchiefs.
You understand?
Well, I'm trying to remember what is the lyric. Sitting in my room with my smoking jacket on. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's
no, don't. Hold on, before we do that, listen. Also, my other lovely comrade, lovely co-host.
No doubt, respect.
Yeah. The ever divine Miss Tamika, aka D1. How are you, dear?
Don't know.
Everything is everything. I can't call it.
Nice.
A little bit of that. A whole lot of this.
Nice.
I don't know.
Nice.
She's about to quote lyrics of a particular artist that I've constantly tried to convince her to reconsider, but she refuses. But hey, she's a grown woman.
Is that him?
The grown woman. It's her prerogative. You starting to quote lyrics from that song from said person, and that's how it started. When I've been sitting in my room with my something on. Yeah.
Wait, no, there's two different sets of lyrics. Though.
She's talking about Heavy D song, yeah?
Yeah, that was Heavy D.
With my smoking jacket on.
Oh, that one.
All right. So gently I kiss her. The other one is
Heavy D, rest in peace. The overweight lover, Health. Yeah.
The overweight lover.
That song was classic. That song was classic.
DX Mount Vernon all day, you dig?
You already.
All right. Dig it.
Now I can't even remember the other lyrics.
It's okay.
You don't wanna talk about my buddy James Todd. James Todd Smith? No?
I'm trying to help sis out, y'all. You know what I mean? But listen, that's a whole nother story. We'll get into that.
Love James and James loves me.
Keep it going.
Listen, we speaking of that.
Yeah, how about you though, man? How you doing? Everything good?
I am well, brother. Can't call it. Always blessed. You know what I'm saying? All the time. How about yourself?
Come on, man. I need to go through that again. You see it?
You're ready? Yeah.
Come on.
Of course.
Please don't let him go through it again, please. For the love of all that's good in the world.
He has no problem. He'll have no problems doing it, right?
I will, but
encore entrance.
In the interest of time, since you hosting and all that, we're gonna let you host.
We'll keep it pushing. All right.
No doubt.
Please keep it pushing.
Well, listen, people. Today's topic is a very important one. Just to jump onto the serious side of things a little bit. It's a very important topic for all of us. It affects all of us worldwide. I mean, this thing that's been going on the past year and a half, going on 2 years, not even a year and a half, going on 2 years now. Yeah. We have entered into the phase of choices. Critical choices that is affecting human life, choices that is controversial, choices that are difficult, choices that has been problematic for a lot of people. People meeting crossroads. A lot of people meeting their crossroads because of mandates CDC mandates, which has been trickled down into government mandates, which has been trickled down into local mandates, and trickle down to employment mandates. The whole trickle down effect, and it's affected a lot of human lives. We are talking about jab or job tonight.
Boom.
And a lot of people had to make that choice. Either get the jab so you can keep the job, or not get the jab and lose the job. I can speak from personal account. Fortunately for me, I am still able to work by the grace of God due to my religious exemption. There's some people who legitimately have requested religious exempt, and some institutions, industries, businesses, or what have you, have allowed a religious exemption. Mine in particular have, but more importantly, a lot of people think it's an infraction on their human rights, it's an infraction on their freedom to choose. And it's been very problematic with everyone. A lot of people had to make a lot of difficult decisions with regards to that. And a lot of people are not appreciative of the fact that they're being threatened with not being able to provide for themselves and take care of themselves and their families if they don't choose to comply to this mandate of getting vaccinations. Now, I personally am not one to get into the politics of it, but I do have a problem with the coercion, the force, and the violation of people's rights to choose. This is akin, although not as what's the word I'm looking for? Serious, or it is serious, but not as personal or profound as when government was trying to force women to choose the right, force women to make a decision with their bodies in terms of keeping a child or not. It is akin to that, but not really on that level, but it is akin to that, but because the common theme is the violation of choice and the violation of people's civil rights. And a lot of people feel that way about that. And so I wanted to bring that up because I know how it's affected people personally. I've know of people who has affected personally, and I just wanted to, have that conversation with you guys with regards to that. How do you feel about this crossroads that people are facing, and have you guys had to face that crossroad? Was it challenging for you, or do you guys feel any sort of violation of civil liberties or human rights behind this choice? Let's start with you, D. What are your thoughts there?
So this is, in my mind, this is not a simple topic. To my mind, this is really complex and layered. My particular employment was not in jeopardy. Was not directly in jeopardy, although for a minute it was kind of ambiguous about what my employer, which direction my employer might go. And the direction that my employer went was with just kind of taking a head count of how many people were voluntarily vaccinated, and I guess the powers that be decided that they felt that enough people had voluntarily vaccinated so that they did not make it a requirement. With that being said, I know many other people who were impacted. I know people who were in the midst of job searches and had a really difficult time, had employment offers kind of on the table and then revoked. As the regulations started to change and evolve, because that's the other thing, like this is moving. Where we were with it a month ago is not the same place we were with it 3 months ago, is not the same place we were with it 6 months ago. So the regulations and the expectations are evolving day to day, and people are being impacted day to day. And I guess I'm not a public health professional. And I know that there are really big considerations and implications as it relates to public health in general. And those implications seem to collide in some cases with individual choices. But I guess here's my thing about this, is that we are in the midst of the biggest health crisis that any of us have ever seen in our lifetimes, regardless of age. Like, I've talked to people who are significantly older than me, and everyone is like, no, we've never seen anything like this. We've never lived through anything like this. And my concern is, maybe we shouldn't be rushing back to get to work in the same way that we were. Maybe we should pause a little bit and let people process what's going on, all the loss that's taken place. Like, there are a lot of, I don't know anybody whose family someone hasn't been sick or lost in the midst of these past months. How many months are we into it at this point? And we're trying to move forward as if nothing has happened. And there was nothing in me that thought that this was going to happen. I thought the landscape of the world was going to change moving forward. I'm thinking for sure there will be some people that go back into the office, but there'll also be all kinds of virtual opportunities available for people who need them, who want them, who prefer them, who have compromised health, who have religious views that contradict the idea of vaccination, but are still caring and communal enough to want to take care of the community, but don't want to violate their own belief system. So to my mind, I thought that would be it. I was like, oh, the landscape is going to totally change and we'll figure out new ways to move forward. But instead, that's not it. What's happening is this expectation that we just jump back in as if nothing has happened. And I think that's some of what's going on. And people are like, hold up, wait a second, there's a lot of stuff that just went on, and you now want me to go and sit back at my desk. And on top of that, I'm being mandated to get this vaccination that I have hesitancy around. And it's not that I have hesitancy necessarily because I'm a non-vaxxer or because I don't care about people. It's not that, but I need a minute to figure out what I'm doing. And now I'm being rushed into this situation. And so that's one thing, is why are we moving so fast? Why don't we slow down? Why don't we I don't understand. This is what I really don't understand.
Let's hear it.
How public health officials, whoever, all of the commercials I hear when I'm in the car with my kid, all the commercials I see on TV, the commercials, my kid got a cold at the beginning of the school year, and there was a minute where I think she thought that she wasn't going to make it. And I think part of that is because of all of these commercials that are inducing fear. And they play as I'm taking my kid to school, as I'm picking my kid up from school. So if you're so concerned about us, think about the whole. Think about all of us. Think about the whole person. Think about our mental health, our spiritual health, our religious health, in addition to the medical health. And the more you offer me a toaster, a refrigerator, a trip to Great Adventures,
$100.
right, you offering me all of these stuff is making me doubt you more. And so you want me, whoever the you is, the public health you, want me as an individual to think about the community, but you are not thinking about me. And I can feel that. I might not have the words to say that, but I can feel the disconnect. This country that we live in is very individualized, right? It's all about you do you make it, you go to school, you achieve your goals, you you pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that phrase anymore. But all of these, I said it already, but all of these things that are about the individual. And now you want me to do something communal, but you haven't trained me to be communal. You've never done that. You've trained me to think about me. You've trained me that my experience is valuable, and the better that I do for myself, the further ahead I get. And if I falter, it's also me. But now you want me to be communal. Y'all are missing the bigger picture, public health people. Like there's something that it like, and even community service, this BS community service that they put in most of our public schools, it has nothing to do with, I don't even know what it's about. It has nothing to do with actual community. So I don't understand how the individual gets penalized for something that is a community, like this insidious kind of lack of community overall, but somehow each individual, now you get penalized. And let's not forget, some of these people that are being penalized now were considered essential workers when all of this started. Oh, we love you guys, you thank you. Now it's like, get out of here.
Right. That's great. Yeah, right. Great point.
Wow, that's something about face.
Yeah, big time about face. Brother Mark, your thoughts. Thank you, D1. That was powerful.
Wow, definitely. I concur with Josh said, D1. In regards to the commercials, I must say though that I'm really tired of seeing Dr. Fauci. I have to start with that because I think I've seen this dude on TV more times than I could count. And too much. And then if I flick the channel, he's on a different channel saying something different. So I'm definitely tired of seeing him. And then they have different commercials with people giving testimonials, which I thought those were better as opposed to the CDC and World Health Organization and different people that are speaking that have these different degrees and are doctors and scientists and things of that nature, and speaking more towards COVID itself. So the testimonials, I like those commercials. So they went out into the different communities and spoke to people who I think they may have gotten the first shot or the second shot, I'm not sure. And they spoke about how they felt after the shot, how everyone else should get it. So I prefer that as opposed to seeing Dr. Fauci and speaking about it and then changing to maybe 2 or 3 days later and just continuing to extend the length of how long we're going to be within this pandemic. But in regards to the vaccine, I was vaxxed long before that they came out with this mandate. Initially, I was one that said, I'm never going to get that shit. I'm not even interested in getting the vaccine because at the time, they wasn't mandating anyone. I just was on the fence about it anyway. So I acquiesced some time into it and just thinking about it. And the reason why I got the vaccine, and initially what a lot of people are saying is that it's not going to cure COVID. No one ever said that. No one ever said that it's going to cure COVID. However, they're saying it may contribute to your health if you do get it. You may not get any severe symptoms. You may not require hospitalization. Whatever it is you do at home, this may assist in that regard. So as you both know, I had COVID. I had COVID severely, and this was at the height of it. This is when in New York City, we were losing like 800, 900,000 people a day. This was at the height of it when they were telling people, don't even come to the hospital. Don't come to the hospital unless you're dead. So, of course, my family couldn't come to see me or help me in regards to that. And I had COVID very bad. And I knew I had it. It felt like nothing I've ever had or experienced in my whole life. And it was just horrific. Everything I went through, it started in my back. Then it moved up my back. Then it went to my head. Then it just felt like my nasal passage was just split in half. Then I was hallucinating. It was just too much to go through. And I was just at peace. I told my family, listen, I'm not going to the hospital anyway. So if I die, I'm gonna die right here in my place. And then if you don't hear from me for some days, you'll know that I've transitioned. Just made it pretty simple for me because I knew it wasn't going to the hospital. And even after that, I was still like, I'm not getting any vaccine. This is not for me. So sometimes as we get into it, and then, you know, it went on for a few months and people getting the vaccine, I was just asking them questions. Well, how you feel? Got any headaches? Anything that you're going through? Any what you call it? Anything severe that you're going through? Any side effects? So most of the people in my circle and people even outside of my media circle, for the most part, they just say, I was sick, but my arm was a little heavy and I was fine. Other than that, they were fine. Nothing major. Nobody required any hospitalization, at least in my circle. Now, there may have been some people on a grand scale that happened to, but in my circle. So I felt a little more comfortable with getting the vaccine. So I went and got it. Just woke up, I said, let me go get this vaccine. Again, they're not saying that I'm going to be cured of it. I may get it again. I may have it. It may be asymptomatic, walking around with it and no one knows. Still continue with the test, but this will help, not cure it. So I went and got it. Then I went and got the second shot. Then I became fully vaxxed. I was fully vaxxed in early July. I was fully vaxxed. I think the 9th or the 10th or something like that. And a lot of the people that I've spoken to that didn't get the vaccine, and some people even quit their job, said, I'm not doing that. So they were using YouTube as a reference. So if you use YouTube as a reference, you know what they say, seek and you shall find. You understand? So if you're seeking to find something that will contribute to whatever it is you believe, you're going to see it on there. So I had someone that I know that came up to me. She was a little hesitant about getting the shot. And I said, why are you hesitant about getting the shot? So she said, I saw something on YouTube that said, if I get it, I'm going to turn into a troll. So
she really said that?
I swear to you. I swear to you. Yeah, I mean, we don't come on here and lie. I swear to you. So I paused for a second. And this is someone that's older than me. I said, well, listen, I got both shots. I'm fully vaxxed. And I haven't turned into a troll yet. If I do,
debatable.
Trust, I will call you.
Damn it, man.
You set yourself up for that. I don't know what you expected me to say or not.
You got that. You got that. I'm gonna give you that one. That one was good. I mean, you rarely say funny stuff, but that was good.
Shade, honey.
So this is what she said. So I had to pause for a second, and I said, "Listen, please don't use YouTube as a reference. If you do, why don't you look for something that goes against exactly what it is that you believe? Why don't you look up all the people who did get the vaccine and they're doing fine?" I had another person that said, listen, if you take the vaccine, you won't be able to have any kids. People are still having sex in the pandemic, and people are still having kids. People that are fully vaxxed are still having kids, both partners. So we rule that. So you have to know who your audience is when you speak to people and they telling you these things about the vaccine and what's going to happen to you. I have a friend of mine. He's an Israelite. Told him I got fully vaxxed. Oh, you shouldn't have did that shit. I said, I feel fine. Yeah, for now. Wait till 5 years from now. He don't even know what's going to happen 5 years from now.
Right.
You understand? So when you speak to people and then you question them and then you keep questioning them, they have to come up with something just to justify what they believe on why you shouldn't have got it, and then why they not getting it, and what's going to happen to you in the future that you got it. But it's never going to make sense. You understand? So what this comes down to is what you choose to do. Now, on the flip side of that, in regards to the mandate, I agree. Everyone should be able to do what they want when they want to do it. However, the powers that be and the people in charge to make that decision, they can't wait for you to make up your mind. No one likes mandates. I agree with that. But they can't wait. If it's just the three of us left on Earth and they're waiting for us to get this, you understand? Let's say if us three are the last three left for them to achieve herd immunity in this world, they're waiting for us three to do it.
I'm sorry, we're the last three on the Earth?
On the Earth, the entire Earth.
I don't want no parts of that.
Listen, now you're already in. You all in, right?
I'm certainly not getting vaccinated now. That means that I get to live longer with the two of y'all. No, thank you.
So no. But so let's ramp it up a notch. So let's say
that's a fair deal.
By us three,
you know that's a fair deal.
By us three getting it, this will stop so many people from dying. However, if the three of us don't, it will be even more people that will continue to die. So now that this is on us. So people that make this decision, they're going to be like, well, listen, I don't think Mark, Tamika, and Ja are going to get it. If so, they've really taken too long. So now they have to come up with something because they can't wait for us to make up their mind. Since, you know, this herd immunity was the word that they used so much. Everyone was talking about herd immunity. From my math, I think we've already achieved it, or maybe we didn't. Or maybe we need Dr. Fauci to come on TV again and tell us where the math is at. But the people that came in with that mandate, they can't wait for people. So what they're going to go to? Your money. They couldn't go to anything else. We're going to go to your money. You know how many people went to get that vaccine that first weekend that the DOE came out with that mandate? I think about 15, 20,000, maybe 30,000 or so people that would have never went. So they picked that needle up and moved it a whole lot farther than people thinking about it on the sidelines, waiting, going on YouTube, thinking that they're going to turn into trolls and things of that nature, and so many other things. They just can't wait. And then another side of that, you got to keep in mind, I'm just speaking about New York City because, you know, I live here. New York City has to make money. It has to make money. This is just what it is. And if this is what's going to do to get people back to Broadway, get people back on those restaurants, get people back on those sporting events, mandate everybody. Done. Do I agree with the mandate? No, but I don't think that they could have waited for people to make up their mind because it's too much money at stake. And if we're losing this much money with all of these restaurants and things that people would have normally done pre-pandemic, we're going to speed that up. We're going to get that mandate. We got to get this money. Ultimately, I think it's about money. I don't even think it's about our health. They probably could care less about our health. We're supposed to care about our health individually. But in New York City here, I think it's about money. I really do. And unfortunately, but that was an excellent point that Tamika said. All those people previously, they were essential workers and they had a parade for the essential workers in New York City. And we were treating them like heroes. They walked down the Canyon of Heroes downtown. It was beautiful. Now it's a different time. And they're having protests and everything like that over something that you may not want to put in your body. Now they're attacking your livelihood. I mean, I pray for them. I truly do. But it's about money. And if it's about money, they're not going to wait for you. It's just not going to happen. That's how I feel.
I think you're 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
100% correct, man.
I think we had spoke on that before you decided that this was going to be a topic when we was at Grant's tomb.
Yeah.
We kind of touched on what it was looking like.
Yeah.
Well, this was before they said the mandate, but we knew that it was coming to them.
You kind of anticipated the mandate was going to come.
We kind of anticipated.
Yeah.
We kind of anticipated what it was looking like. Oh yeah, it's going to be a mandate. We just don't know when, but it's coming.
Right. Right. We didn't anticipate that for sure.
Come on, the city's losing too much money.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a number of people that quit their job and they're relying on faith. All the best to them. I pray for them and whatever it is they decide to do going forward in their life, next career moves, things of that nature. But they said, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I dig it. I don't know if it's what they think is inside of the vaccine or if they did it just because no one can tell me what to do.
I think for some people it's about what's in the vaccine. They're concerned about what's inside there. They don't know what it is. And I know for me, I've heard arguments about, well, since you were born, you were immunized and you took shots all your life from when you was young coming up. So what's the big deal now? And my response to that would be, well, because number one, we didn't know any better. And number two, we're much older and wiser. We know how to research. We're grown folks able to make our own sound decisions. I mean, after all, that's what we were taught growing up anyway. And this is supposed to be the fabric of this country that we live in. Freedom of choice, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of decision to decide what each individual wants to do with his or her body. That's what Roe versus Wade was about. That's what other incidents about, but Roe versus Wade is the most popular one that depicts that. I can't think of any other situations at the time, but it's all about the individual's freedom and like Tamika said earlier, that was supposed to be the fabric of this country. This is what all of us was indoctrinated into, you know what I mean? And now you're flipping it, talking about think about your community, think about the people. But it's really but so much, it's not so much about thinking about the community and the people. I agree with you in the fact that it's about the bottom line. And they know New York is the financial capital of this country, if not the world.
Period.
Right? Nothing moves and shakes unless New York is moving and shaking, because it is the financial capital. And so if you're going to get a lot of pushback of people leaving, jobs lost, that means money's being stagnant, the economy is going to be stagnant. Yeah, you're going to make the mandate, but my thing is, if people are falling into and acquiescing to the dangling of the carrot, what price do we pay as human beings, for this carrot? What price are we paying? And I think the price that we're paying is our civil liberties. I think it's a matter of they slowly, meticulously, and I'm losing my words today. Slowly, meticulously, and strategically trying to take our civil liberties away, and by instilling fear, as per what D once said with the commercials, they use media to instill fear. We go do what we need to do, so then we're all essentially following into the agenda. Now, I want to veer away from talking about agenda and conspiracy theories and stuff, but my whole issue of bringing this up today was just it's the obstruction of the matter of choice, the prevention of choice, the prevention of the rights of each individual to decide what he or she can do with their body. We have the right, we have the access to research information, and we have the brains, we have the intelligence to make critical decisions of what we need to do for our lives. And it seems like the powers that be is trying to prevent us to do so, with these mandates. And again, to your point, it's not so much about our health, it's about the bottom line. And that's the thing, that's disturbing, per se. You know what I mean? So so that, you know, that's my take on it. D1, you got any more stuff you want to add?
That sounds like a lot. She got to let it come in.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot because this is not a simple topic. Like, it's so many layers.
Layers, right? It's layers.
There's so many layers, and some of it,
yeah, I agree.
I feel like just not qualified to speak on. And so there's that aspect of it. But I think one thing I want to be clear is that I'm not saying whether somebody should or should not. I'm not saying that. I don't even want to talk about whether I did or did not. I feel like whatever people decide
I was just going to ask you.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe ask me. Maybe if you ask me nicely, I'll tell you. Maybe.
I ain't gonna ask nicely though, but
see what I'm saying?
Go ahead, though.
Black men can never be nice.
That's not nice. That's not nice.
You were not nice to me before I was not nice to you. So there's like I'm really, what decisions people make, I feel like I can't really speak to that. And I think I have a general understanding of public health and herd immunity, and what public health officials were speaking of, but I don't know all the intricacies of it. It just is really complicated, and I don't like, really what I want to talk about is I don't like the bullying around it. I don't like the bullying. I don't like the persuasion. I don't like the coercion.
The coercion, yeah, that's right.
I don't like any of those aspects of it. The things that we teach our children not to do. I don't like the fact that grown people are doing it and then making assumptions about other people based on whatever decision that they made.
Yes.
Like if you made a decision to get the vaccination, you're sheeple. And if you didn't, then you're, you know, everything that's wrong with the planet, and you're trying to kill, you know, trees and kittens. Like, I think
it's all on you.
It's all on you. Like, we are really resorting to bullying each other. And I don't like it. And I hear you with the Roe versus Wade. And I similarly, I can't think of another analogy that would fit better. But the Roe versus Wade, there's some clear differences, right? There's clear differences in pregnancy is not contagious, no matter what our grandparents tried to tell us. Don't hang out with that girl. Is she pregnant?
Yeah,
you know, you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Just by being friends with her.
Just by being friends.
By being friends with her, yeah.
Right. So we miss that aspect of you know, pregnancy and your choice about whether to have a child or to not have a child. But what still stands with me in that analogy is how civil liberties impact different people or different groups of population differently. How civil liberties impact and look for women, what it looks like for people of different socioeconomic status. Like, I don't know what's going on in the top 1%. I don't know that people are being threatened, and, you know, it seems like there's a certain socioeconomic status that is the recipient of some of these threats. And we're not dumb. We feel that. So it might be and I also don't know, like, what immunizations look like when influenza first hit and all of those, and maybe they were mandated and there were people who didn't want it and they were held down, and I don't know what any of that looks like, but this is all new to us. And so maybe treat us as if we are kind of on your same level, as opposed to talking down and telling people what they should do. Talk about the whole scenario. Talk about all of it. And I was different than Mark. Like I didn't like any of the commercials. I also didn't like the commercials where they thought that they were getting people who looked like me that I could relate to, and getting them or catching them on the street and saying, you know, what do you think? Like I didn't like any of that. I felt like it was all trickery. Instead of just saying what people really need to know and need to hear. And if you can give this vaccine out to the entire world for free, I need y'all to work on some of these other medications, like, you know, blood pressure medication and all these medications that are like, you know, far too expensive for people to manage. How about you, if it was really about our health, and I agree with C1, I don't think it is. I think it's about the bottom line, which is the dollar. Because if it was really about our health, then maybe you, whoever the big you is, would start to look at things like diet and nutrition, and making sure that how do you handle food insecurities, and what does it look like to get, you know, fresh fruits and vegetables in all of our neighborhoods, as opposed to 2 months ago, they emptied a woman in the Bronx for selling fruits and vegetables, and I guess she didn't have a license for it, and they threw it all in a sanitation truck.
I heard about that. But she got her money. They paid her money though.
And you threw all of the fresh fruits and vegetables in the garbage.
Yeah, all of it. She didn't have a license.
She didn't have a license. But this is when, like, we can feel that it's not about us. It's not about me. And when it's not about me and you're trying to get me on board, you need to address that part. So all of these commercials about, and you keep getting Dr. Fauci. I get the black dude whose name I can't remember.
Oh, he's new. I know.
Yeah, I get him all the time.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna do that, me personally, follow that commercial up with some mental health commercials. Give us some mental health information. How do you want us to deal with this stuff? Like
like you said,
go ahead, D1. Keep going.
Keep going. It's a lot of layers. Like you said,
it's just.
You don't know where to go with it. Yeah.
Right. It's a lot of layers, and I don't know where to go with it. And I don't want to get sick. I don't want my family to get sick. I don't want people who I care about to get sick. I don't want people who I don't care about to get sick. I know some people who've gone through COVID, including UC1. And it sounds absolutely horrendous. I don't want anybody to have to go through that. And I want to be able to do my part so that doesn't happen. But if I have concerns that are not being addressed, I don't think it helps to bully. Either way, I don't think it helps to bully and call somebody sheeple. And I don't think it helps to bully and say, like, you're the reason for climate change. Like,
yeah.
Ooh, that's heavy.
No, yeah.
I mean, that's heavy to put on your shoulders, that you're the reason for climate change, you individually, D1. I did hear some people say that about you though, and I corrected them immediately. So that won't.
Reason why icebergs are melting.
Listen.
Oh man, I didn't hear that one.
That won't be going on anymore.
All right. If I didn't know that, you know how to jump out the window. I could take on two.
Listen.
Okay, so I need you to get your numbers up. I know we talked about this before.
I remember it was 15. 15.
I know that's a tall order, you know.
Woo!
Remember, I'm almost 50, man.
You got to move from 2 though. 2 is not significant. I need more. I need you to prove yourself more than that.
You need more numbers. You need more numbers.
Yes. I need you to be like the cartoons where all of a sudden you're fighting and your arms turn into like 20 arms. I need all of that to happen, please, and thank you.
Oh man.
Go ahead. But one thing we definitely can't discount we definitely can't discount nor make light of. 700,000 plus people have died because of COVID.
That's right.
Can't discount that. Can't make that up. These are the numbers that we're giving. So a lot of the times what happens when you hear numbers like that, you're going to have people say that that's not true. How we know that? Again, this goes on what you believe. Now, you would have someone that you mentioned that number to, and they're going to say something like, well, how you know those people ain't lying to you? You understand? Yeah. So I was always told that you should never argue with fools. And I don't. Because sometimes they're going to just pull some stuff out of the air. No matter who it is, no matter who you talk to, if they hell-bent not on believing anything, they're just not going to believe it. It's what it is. No matter what you say, no matter what you back it up with, no matter what kind of facts you bring, they just not going to believe it.
But where would they think the people went? Like the people were here and they're not here anymore.
They probably just going to think that they never went anywhere. They never died. I mean, the type of stuff that's out there that's going on that you see on YouTube, again, like I said, someone said she might turn into a troll. Everything is on YouTube.
I can't believe.
But it's whether or not you believe it. 700,000 people is a lot. We can't discount that or just wave that over. But in regards to what's on now and the shot, I mean, and in the topic that the name of this particular episode and the topic that Ja came up with, jab or job, that's the decision that a lot of people are making right now.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that they make their decision. I agree with that. Everybody's responsible for their own body. Whether or not they forced into it, I agree with it. Now, initially, people that said they wasn't going to do it or forced into it, they definitely acquiesced because that overtime and however much they make, they couldn't just come up off of that. You understand?
Yep.
They need to pay that rent. They need to pay that car note. They need to pay their mortgage. They need to pay for their kids' private school or whatever that is. But definitely what D1 said in regards to the bullying and everything like that, and you even have some people that are deciding friendships based on whether you're fully vaxxed or not.
Yes.
If you and I were friends, regardless of COVID, whether it came, when it's gone and everything like that, we're going to be friends whether you fully vaxxed or not. Whether you got one shot, then go back, whether you went and got the first one, then you got your $100, then you was like, hell with that. I'll probably go back when they give up another $100.
Right.
They didn't give me $100, but I was going to get it anyway. Now they're giving the kids $100, the 5 to 11-year-olds.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So you know, yeah, the New York City. So you know the parents, some of those parents that need that buck, they taking that kids.
They rushing their kids down. Listen, get them shot.
That's $100. People out here have situations.
Yes.
As blessed as we are at this point right now in our lives in this time, we're truly blessed. Thank God. Everybody's situation ain't like ours. So people went and got that 100. Some people gonna take their kids to get that $100. Again, the bullying is horrible. Some people decide friendships over that. Oh, well, you ain't get the shot. Well, we can't speak no more. I can't associate with you. So what were we before that? So this disease comes about and that determines our friendship based on what I want to do with my body.
Yeah.
I think that's wrong and that's awful. And that really defines a friendship in the worst way based upon the decision that you make. So the bullying is horrible. But ultimately, like you said, in regards to the topic in the name of it, jab or job, people have to make that decision. And I agree that it shouldn't have been a mandate. But again, it's going to always come back to money. And then another reason people say they're not getting the vaccine, all these pharmaceutical companies, all they want to do is make money off of us. They're going to make money off of you regardless with all the other medications that they have out there. It's not just the vaccine that these pharmaceutical companies started making money. They've been making money. This didn't just start with this. So it all depends on who you talk to, what you want to believe, and how to determine what it is that you want to do. But whoever it is you are, just know that if you and I were friends, we still gonna be friends, regardless of what you decide to do. You're not gonna come to my party, but we still gonna be friends. Gas station.
This party keep coming up. Party, gas station. Oh my God.
Well, that's well said, brother. That's well said.
Listen, this is before you say that, this is a good time for the disclaimer. I'm gonna read it.
Go ahead.
Oh, yay.
A full disclaimer.
Go ahead.
You all out there, you listen. So I know you all watch the show and all of you are subscribing.
Yes.
Make sure you hit that button. Make sure you copy the link and paste it, share it with someone else, have them subscribe.
Facts.
But they all need to know this. The views expressed on the Not Right, Not Wrong podcast for past, present, and future episodes are solely the views of the speaker, and in no way, shape, form, or fashion are meant to hurt, upset, or anger any viewer or listener. However, the Not Right, Not Wrong podcast may cause continued conversations leading to solutions, understanding, and laughter. Increased heart rate indicating an open heart, the ability to tolerate diverse opinions simultaneously, increased brainwave activity, powerful silences, runny eyes, runny nose, extensive crying, but just you, the viewer, and only you, not us, long hugs, and the munchies. And if any of these things occur, the Not Right, Not Wrong podcast is not responsible in any regard. Furthermore, our sole purpose for the Not Right, Not Wrong podcast is to create an avenue, a street, a road, driveway, what have you, ... right there, for inclusive speech for the better of mankind, for womankind, and for childkind. Childkind is not a word. Womankind is not a word. Do not use that for any paper that you do.
Yeah.
Which is not a word, so don't use it ever. So do allow our voices and any and all means we choose to further our goal be embraced by you. On behalf of the Not Right, Not Wrong podcast, enjoy and subscribe.
Amen. Amen.
Well said.
Yes, yes, yes. And on that note, good people, that is our time. We thank you for watching. On behalf of Queen
Not right,
One,
not wrong.
and Brother Mark Mills, the Ever Dapper. I am Brother Ja. This is
sitting in my room with my smoker jacket on.
This is Not Right.
Burning in the girlies. I'm sorry.
Gas station.
Rest in peace, Dwight Myers, aka Heavy D.
Yes, sir.
This is Not Right, Not Wrong. We are signing out. Till next week. Peace and love.
Peace.